Alright guys, just need to preface this video by saying that it's really important that we have air roll and power slide bound to preferably the same button if you want to make this as easy as possible on you. We don't want power slide to be on square, and if you're using default settings, air roll probably isn't bound to anything. So you need to come to settings, come to controls, click view, change bindings, and you need to go down here and put power slide on L1 and air roll on L1. Right, you can choose any button that you like. I prefer L1. Right, let's get started. So to begin, we can turn off ball cam. We don't need to worry about the ball. Right now what we're focusing on is just achieving a wave dash. So it's something like this. There we go, right? That's a wave dash. So you may notice that I point my nose forward when I do my wave dash, like so. For me, I don't know that it offers any technical advantage. It's just that it's just a bit more of a fluid motion for me. I feel like when you're floating in the air like this, you just, I don't know, it just feels like it's harder for me to time. Whereas when I do the forward, back and boom, it's just much more fluid for me. So do what works for you, but that is essentially, you know, this is how it works. And also it's kind of good when it comes to, because it's the sort of same motion that you pull off when you're trying to chain dash later on, especially if you're side chain dashing, which we'll cover later on in the video. So take things slow. We want to, if we're going to do it the way I do it, and you can choose to do it any way you like, but I'm going to show you the way that I like to do it. I like to point my nose forward and then pull my card back. So obviously all in the one motion, so forward and back. Right. I should also mention that when you're actually pulling this move off, you want to be tapping X as lightly as possible. You know, so you want to come really low off the ground. Right. You don't want to be holding it in and coming up this high. You won't be able to manage it if you do so. So really low. There we go. Right, so like I said earlier, you should have your power slide bound on a different button than square. For me it's L1, that's what I find to be the most comfortable, because if you do the wave dash without power slide, you'll get this. In fact, it might even be worse than that. I'm just got such a habit of holding L1, so one sec. So here we go. Right, there you go, and that's how quickly you slow down. Okay, now if we hold power slide, and you can hold, as you can see from the controller overlay, I can hold power slide in during this whole motion, and let's look at the momentum that we get for free by holding power slide in. Right, there we go. The only thing we're holding is power slide, and we've got consistent, constant momentum. This is going to be the foundation for the great recovery times that you can gain from wave dashing. You can see it there, you know. So if I was to come off the wall and do that, so it slows me down immediately, whereas if I hold power slide, I keep my momentum. So really important that we power slide after we achieve the wave dash, like so. So for me guys, the wave dash is probably the most important mechanic of the game. It's at the very least the most important defensive mechanic. Your recovery times are greatly increased by doing it, so there's absolutely no reason that you shouldn't add it to your repertoire if you want to get better at the game. For me personally, and just for like a little bit of context, I'm by no means the best player, but I sit around Grand Champ 1, Grand Champ 2, and I really don't see how anyone could get any further than Grand Champ without being able to wave dash. Not effectively anyway, so you definitely want to be adding this to your repertoire of mechanics. It's just one of the best things, and see honestly, when you get good at it, it just feels so nice. You're look at me right now, you know, I'm making relatively easy work of just getting around the pitch nice and fast. I'm not even using boost, and like I'm keeping supersonic, and this is all just down to wave dashing and power sliding to make sure that I keep my momentum. It's just the best mechanic in the game for me, you know, because if you can defend your goal efficiently, consistently, You know, how many times have you found yourself out of position? You've maybe double committed or you've went for a risky play, and then the opposite team gets a counter attack on you, and you're able to do nothing because your recovery time's either really, really bad, or you're just too slow in general. The wave dash is going to fix both of those things for you. You're going to be much faster, and even if you are in a bit of a bad situation, as long as you can recover really well, you may well be able to get yourself out of that situation and into a position where you can at least defend your goal and not give away an easy freebie. So much like the wave dash on the ground, as you've seen earlier, you know, you can do it off the wall. And the idea obviously is that you want to keep momentum of the way you're going, which is obviously why we hold in our power slide, right? But it's just the same idea. So obviously, like, we're coming back to land down, so when we come off the wall, we want to be up here so we can slap down like that, you know. So you don't want to be coming off the wall and just getting yourself flat, because if you're actually perfectly flat, which is just hard for me because I've got the muscle memory built in that says don't do that, you know, if you go really flat, then something like that might happen, you know. So you want to be coming up like so and then down like that, or even better, you can maybe even put it forward, you know. But see, as long as you've got the power slide in, you're going to keep nice momentum and you're going to stay nice and fast. So anyway, that's how you do it off the wall. Another way that you can wave dash is also against the roof. Now, I haven't really practiced this all that often because I don't really do it too much, but I do know that if you're really into your ceiling shots or even setting up particular types of flip resets, it can be a really, you know, advantageous move because it will get you on the roof faster and falling off the roof faster. So you can try and it'll be like, you know, like so, and we've still got our flip, see? So yeah, so, you know, maybe not the best examples of it, but it shows you, you know, how it can be useful. Last but not least is chain dashing. Now I'm going to preface this by saying that I am not by any means all that great at this, but I do know how to do it in practice, so I'll just try and show you. So the most important thing about chain dashing, if you watch the controller overlay, is you'll notice that as soon as I've achieved my first wave dash, I'm going to immediately be jumping again. So it's almost like, you know, obviously you're going to be, your initial wave dash is like forward and X, and obviously you'll be holding L1 or power slide of your variation. So when you do that in a chain, you almost want to be like double tapping it, because you should be like this. See what I'm saying? So that is how you chain them. You know, can be really, really effective. There's ways of doing it even quicker. Like you can maybe look up YouTube crazy chain dash or something like that, Rocket League, and you might find some guys that are able to do like some mad crazy. I can't even try and replicate it. I'm just not that good at it. But you can. It looks like hacking, to be fair. When you're really good at it, it looks like you just like literally skid straight across the pitch at super speed. So yeah, if you get really good at it, it can be one of the most beneficial moves that you could learn. So the actual last thing, is sideways dashing / chain dashing. This, more often than not, is going to be for recovery reasons, because, you know, you shouldn't want to be landing sideways. It's just going to remove all the momentum that you built up. So the idea is that, you know, if you came off like this, you know, you've lost everything there, okay? Now, without even doing a wave dash, I can just show you that if we jump off like this, but we hold power slide, we still get momentum. So power slide is the key component in this. Power slide is what's going to allow you to keep your momentum if you land in an awkward way. Like, maybe this isn't the right way to play the game. I don't know if this is the way pros play the game by any means, but for me, I practically hold power slide probably 80% of all gameplay, almost. Even when I'm in the air, I'm still holding L1 because that's my air roll button, so it's like my finger is hardly ever off power slide. So for a side dash, oh, that wasn't great. See, again, not very good at this, so we'll try. Whoa. Yeah, that wasn't terrible. So, you know, depending on the circumstance, you could do that, and you know, it could be like a scary, scary recovery. If you've ever watched someone like Khaled, or maybe even like apparently Jack, like these guys are just absolute recovery defensive masters, and they've got these things nailed to a T. So that's it for you guys. Hopefully you're able to learn from that, and it can improve your Rocket League gameplay. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I do really appreciate it. I hope it helped you in some way or another, and if it did, please like and subscribe and leave a comment to let me know what other tutorials you'd like to see. Have a good one.